Let's do some makeup without any foundation, skin tint, or CC cream. I'm going to start off with my eyes. I'm going to use P. Louise eyeshadow primer. Just tapping it in. Now I'm taking a sponge, just diffusing primer. While the primer is drying down, I'm going to negate my under eye using Huda Pink Pomelo. It's a peachy tone, and the peachier the tone, the more it's going to negate darkness. Not putting on too much. I'm taking a small brush and I'm just designating it to the areas of concern. It was almost as if it never happened. My eyeshadow, I'm going to be using Natasha Denona Sculpt Palette, the soft palette. I'm starting off with a color called Y2. This is just like a initial base. Extend the color up to your brow bone to give you more of an open look, especially for my hooded eye peeps. You can see that I'm tapping on my eyeshadow. That's because these lids are old. My next color is Y3. I am going to put some in the crease. And I'm gently tapping. I am going to diffuse, and this is my least favorite part about eyeshadow. Hold your breath. I'm going to take a little bit of C3, put it on the corners. Just for a little bit of fun, I'm going to take R3 and just put it all over with a fluffy brush. R1 on my inner corner and the brow bone. Liquid eyeliner. I do not use pencil eyeliner on these old ass eyelid. NYX liquid eyeliner. I do my wing first, and then I gently tap on my lash line. If you want to build up from here, that's great. Just make sure you start at your lash line. And I'm going to connect my wings like a half triangle. Now for some contour. This is Anastasia Color Shadow. If you're new to contour, start your contour up high. We want to give everything a lifted look. Now makeup may not be able to make you look younger, but it could make you look older depending on your application. That's why we're not starting down here. Tap it in. I highly suggest that you put your hair back before you start your makeup, like I did not. I like to blend it in till you almost can't see it. Smaller end of the brush, more condensed, because I just want to be able to control where the color is going. Same with the forehead. Get it in your hairline if you're pale AF like me. And then I take the bigger part of the brush and then diffuse it even more. Blush, I'm going to use a stick blush by Kevyn Aucoin, Color Awaken. Make sure this goes high on your cheek also, above the contour. I'm going to take a small brush so I can keep that color where I want it. Gently tapping, working my way up. Concealer, I'm using Maxine's Revenge French Face. Actually, this is a hybrid makeup. You can use it as concealer, foundation, or a contour. I'm using Light Peach and Fair Cream. Light Peach, I'm putting on the darker areas of my under eye. And the Fair Cream, I'm going to put everywhere else that I want concealer. These areas here, I'm going to use something called Quick Fix by Science of Pretty. This is hydration in a tube, and it has a pink tint. If you tend to get a little dry here, this tube is definitely your friend. It's giving you hydration and a light tint to help draw out the marionette lines. I know this looks kind of wonky, but stick with me. And sometimes I do use this stick in this area here when I'm not wearing hardly any makeup. I'm going to blend this in with a concealer brush. I'm going to blend this up, going up a little high on my face and my temples. One, it gives you a lifted look, and two, sometimes as we age, this part here starts getting drawn in. This will give the illusion that it's drawn out. The only thing on my body that I want protruding. My under eye, I'm going to take a small brush. I'm just going to marry these two colors together. I'm not putting it directly under my eyes. It's going to get there anyway. I'm trying to prevent creasing. And I take my finger and just gently tap. This area here, I'm going to take a sponge and I'm going to blend it in so we don't have that line of demarcation. This area here, I'm just going to take my finger and blend it in. I take a sponge and I blend everything in. If you cover up your blush a little bit with the concealer that you just put on, take your initial brush that you just used for your blush and just tap it in. No more extra product. You still already have product on your brush. Now for setting powder. I do use 3 different kinds of setting powder. Under my eyes, I use a baked powder, and the rest of my face, I use a loose powder, just different colors. Make sure your concealer is dry, especially under your eyes, before using powder. Under my eyes, I use Kosas Cloud Set Powder. This is a baked powder. Baked powders always start off as a liquid or a mousse. They add hydrating ingredients, and then they bake it into a very finely milled powder. The powder is not going to necessarily hydrate your under eyes, but it's not going to absorb all your moisture and hydration under your eye. I take a brush Make sure you have no creasing under your eyes. If you have creasing under your eyes, you're going to take a Q-tip, you're going to take something to balm, the rock balm's good, and you're going to buff out the creasing before you use your setting powder. Make sure all the powder is getting in the brush. Look up, and now you're going to set. This is not going to give you a typical blurred look like a loose powder. It's still going to set your concealer and giving you a slight blurred look. This color, Candy. You can use this powder all over your face if you want to with a powder puff or a brush. I don't always use 3 powders, but when I'm going to work, I like to use different powders. My next powder is Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder, color Translucent. And then I use Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder, the color Pink. I like pink in certain areas. I like to take another brush, dip it in the translucent powder, my hand. I'm just gonna set my blush in. And my forehead, my contour. Sometimes I use a powder puff on my forehead, sometimes I don't. I only use the pink powder in this area here, just to make the marionette look not so marionette-y. If you are prone to dryness here, I suggest to keep using your baked powder. Make sure it's hydrated too. I know I'm extra, but I'm about to take some white loose setting powder and put it right here. Would I love to just drag it down here? Yes, that baked look I long for, but I'm old as fuck and I don't want all these cracks and crevices exposed. When you use loose setting powders, you're gonna see cracks that you never even thought you had. This is Kimchi. I'm putting it right here because I still want to live as if I'm young again. Blush, Kevyn Aucoin Grapevine Neo Blush. I'm actually just going to swirl all the colors in my brush. Tap it, pretty. And just tap it on my face a little bit. High in the cheek area. Why did I wear my hair back? Oh my God. I'm gonna take some of this lighter color here and put it kind of lower on my cheek, under my eye, just to kind of blend in the blush. Just blend this powder in. Now for my bronzer, Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Bronzer, color Medium. This is going to give you the sun-kissed look without going in the sun. I'm going to gently tap it on my forehead, my chin, my nose, everywhere else. Why not? Loose powder, just give me a big look in this area here. My lip liner, I do like using lip stains like Sashu or Huda, but I'm just going to use a plain lip liner today. I'm going to use Makeup Forever and then a brown color, Universal Earth. And I'm going to take a brown and just put it in this area here. Why? Because I want to. I'm going to diffuse the color with a brush. I'm going to use setting powder on the top of my lips and here to prevent this lip liner from going into these little train track lines. Whatever loose setting powder, I'm just using the Laura Mercier because it's out. Buff out the powder, tap and brush. I'm going to put a nude on my lips. I'm using Dior Couture. Kevyn Aucoin Lip Gloss, color Savannah. This is high shine without that sticky stuff. And now mascara. I like Benefit Bad Gal Bang. This product is very light. There's aero particles, one of the lightest materials known in space technology. I like this because it's light on my thin lashes, but it gives me a very impactful look. And the bristles are teeny little short silicone. They leave no lash behind. One coat is all that I personally need. And the bristles are so short, they're just going to separate each lash. I'm kind of like jiggling my lashes around a little bit to make them look fuller. Then see how you can get right up under there without poking your eyebrow out? Now I have done it before, but the probability is very low with brush. If you fuck up and you get mascara on your face, just take a spoolie, just wipe it off. I forgot the tight line. That's what happens when you get old. You forget shit. Urban Decay Waterline. Try not to mess up my mascara because my old ass forgets everything. Another thing I forgot, I was supposed to put this on after my eyeliner. This is Sashu Eyeshadow Stay-In. This is like a little glittery gloss for your lids. It's great for mature lids because it does not sink into all your crinkled tissue paper eyelids. Look how pretty that looks. Stop it. And now setting spray. I'm actually going to spray my face with Diaba hydrating spray first, and then I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury, her new Matte and Blur. I want a nice blurred baked look since I can't get it with my loose powders by using this. So first you're going to shake this up. This is going to make you look like a little glazed fruit on a fruit tart. And then I immediately spray on my matte Charlotte Tilbury spray. Press it in my skin a little bit for more of a blurred look. And that's it. Have a good day. Oh, the hair is sticking on my neck. I hate that.